Hi guys, this is the grand final, so what we have been waiting for, everyone, including me. This is 3 games here, the next part will be 4 games, so I'm so excited that I just want to invite you to join me to the table. And welcome to the table. Game 1 out of 7 that we will play. I will probably repeat this a lot during this video, but this is not turn-based. The final was actually live. It took us about an hour, maybe an hour and like 15 minutes to finish these games. The clock was pretty steep, I would say. We had like 7-8 minutes per game. Maybe a little more. I don't remember, to be honest. But you didn't have time to like fully analyze. You had to play a little by intuition, by your heart, by what you feel like, by your gut, maybe. But without further ado, let's talk about this particular game. Giza across Rhodos can be both good and bad, but in this case, I'm honestly very happy when I see this board. There is one potential problem for me. Let's see if you can identify this from the strategic point of view. And now I'm going to reveal this. Ephesos has a strong incentive to be in green here and may be the only green player. And when this happens, I'm, last coming from the green in the third age, so I might have troubles getting some points. But at the same time, if you have a wonder that you want, like last from the green, it's probably Giza. So very happy about this position, honestly. When I saw it, I was pretty excited. Let's see how it turns out. I am choosing a B just because of the reason I told you, that I might be further away from green. In 3-player, I generally prefer Giza B. I think A is plenty of playable, but usually you want to do that when you want to play red aggressively. I do want to play red here, but maybe not aggressively. And I expect B all the way, to be honest. And the first surprise is that Rhodos went for A. I do think this is a mistake. I don't know if it was a misclick, but if you are not next to an Olympia, I wouldn't go for the A side. One thing to note, he might be afraid of the blockade on stone, like with Giza here, maybe Ephesos here. He might have troubles getting some stone, so maybe that's why he went for it. But let's see how this turns out. First hand, nothing amazing, to be honest. But we do have Lumberyard, which is always solid. Altar is to be considered, but I wouldn't play it. 2 duels, and here we do get some luck. We do get a second-hand duel, which is always amazing. It's not an autoplay, but here we will play it, just because there is nothing else that is much better. We could consider marketplace and going for green ourselves. This can be viable here, but at the same time, very tricky and very easy to stop by our fellow players here. Rhodos being on A also means more stopping for the green. No need to risk it in the game 1 like this, so just excavation. That was a little not cool for me. I hoped to hit Ephesus early, and this is a strategic decision made by Iguana. He played for a little bit more red this game, and like cheap red wins, and let's see if this works out for him. I need 3 clay for the third stage, so Claypool secures it, and I'm just grabbing it. Also, taking away clay from Rhodes can be a very good idea, and now Alexandria has no way of playing the first stage other than paying me, so that's also nice. A single Orvane is very good for Giza because of the arena that you really want to play, so, and because of the reds, so Orvane is very natural here for me. We are going for a lot of browns, which is a strategy in 4-player, just because there are 2 havens. So that's quite nice. This hand is very poor, on the other hand. I'm playing West Trading Post from it just because it actually gives me something. Like it gives me the second, the second ore, the third clay, and the third stone, so this can be nice for me. This is actually not terrible, but I could see myself considering throwing if not that he doesn't have enough green right now. Like he can play either of those greens anyway. And here we are not playing press. We played 5 cards for resources. In a game like this, maybe 7 wouldn't be terrible. Like it probably won't be P1, but maybe it will be P2 at least. So here I'm just playing a wonder stage. I did get the cash from the first stage of Alexandria, so I can spare it right now. Going into H2, our economy is obviously very good, but our red is pretty poor. So seeing this hand, I thought that we can remedy that with the stables. We can play all the other reds as well, so can be pretty good for us. I think here, like looking back, I think here he buried the a red. I think that's what happened here, and I think that could have been a mistake. Like he probably should have played at least one red here for Ephesos, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a very interesting hand. I can see a lot of cards being played here. Forum is okay, surprisingly. Vineyard is also very good, maybe even the best card here. But I decided to play the Quarry just because of the Haven and just because of the 2 stages. It doesn't save me as much gold. I think it's actually pretty poor play on my part. Maybe not poor, but questionable. But one thing to note about that Quarry is that I'm kind of squeezing away the stone. Rhodos would like to play maybe stone from this hand just because, you know, he would like some resources for that, and then maybe he can get paid for stone, and here maybe Ephesos will pay me for stone, but it's actually a little bit of a stretch. I still think Vineyard or Forum were better cards in this particular hand. So just a mistake by me. But not a big one, probably. So that was to be expected. I think there was additional hiding going on here. I'm not quite sure. Here, nothing for us, to be honest. Nothing great. So we are just hiding, and I think I was hiding actually Courthouse, just because of the Ephesus. Yes, that is correct. Iguana also gets unlucky. School and library are on the same hand, and it was the hand 3 for him, so that's quite unlikely. Here we are just burying some more. I'm burying Loom because why not? They don't want to play green anyway. Also, like, this hand being so stacked is also bad for us, but I think it hurt him a little bit more. Here I'm just burying Quarry, kind of going with my line of hiding stone, but I'm not really hiding that much stone, to be honest. But you know, if they want to play some stone-based circus and H3 red 3, and they will have to pay me quite a lot. So here, you know, nothing. So I'm just playing the Bazaar because it's better than throwing. And let's see our position coming off H2 and into H3. How is it? I'm very happy to win the reds here with 1 red. That was quite nice. And we'll talk about the hand in a second. Let's just look at the position. Right now, Realism is, I think, in a very good position. Like, his resources are very good, but he might have troubles getting the points. It really depends on the spread of cards for him. Both Ephesos and Rhodos are the only ones with a spare wonder stage, which is quite big in a game like this. Important to note, this is the game with almost no green. So Ephesos actually, like, it looks like he's below in points, but he's probably to be preferred here in this position. It's actually a very, very nice position for him, and he will get money for Glass and Loom. Like, when looking at points, if you're looking right now, I think Iguana is last here. Am I correct in that? Yes, I am correct. But actually, I think he's winning at the moment, but not by a lot. So this would have to be a little bit like he has to be not unlucky. Not unlucky. Yes, that's correct. We, on the other hand, do the classic gambit for arena, and we are rewarded with that. Honestly, just a little luck on my side here, but you kinda need it sometimes. I didn't have any other place, so I was just doing it anyway. Very happy for arena. Here he gets this one, which is also quite big for him. Here I am picking Haven. This might look a little bit weird, but we should get another pick from this hand, and I kind of want it to be something else than traders. So I want someone to pick the traders, so I'm picking Haven, so traders looks better. That was my thought. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, we could probably play Gardens, and then Haven would probably will, but I would like, I really needed the Haven to be played here. Here we get one of the first hands with kinda nothing, so those will happen in a game like this again, and almost no green. Red starts to be contested, but at the same time, on the table like this, it can be hard to contest for red. I actually think like this, like, he didn't have anything else to play, so naturally he played this. But it's I imagine he would play something else if there was something else to play. So here, Siege Workshop for me, I need to secure the win over Ephesos anyway, and we might actually play another red to win Alexandria, but not now. So there is only one red left in the pool, and I think it was on the first hand that I saw. So this is, again, quite weird. Again, hand with not much, but we are fortunate to get the Craftsman. Alexandria here couldn't play the Craftsman because it was no points for him. Like, all the other cards were not playable, so Alexandria had to play the Castrum. And here, Circus doesn't make any sense. It doesn't improve our position. We can just freely pass it. So we are playing the very good Lighthouse. Also, like, the order of cards were fortunate for me. Like Arena, then Haven, then Lighthouse. It could have been a few points less, maybe a point less if it was in a different order, and we are lucky to get the last hand for the Gardens. Honestly, the guild wouldn't have been bad as well. So the most like problematic hand that we could see would be if the Haven actually rotated. So then we would be forced to throw, and then we would have 4 points less. So again, doesn't know why this happened. He probably just needed the money there, and that's why he played the Haven. But I'm happy that it did. If we had 4 points less, despite our 36 gold, we would have been P2. So this game, I think I played well, but I think the luck here was on my side as well. What's important to note, I think this was still a strategic miss, and maybe in just some small inaccuracies with the red play in H2. Like, we shouldn't be rewarded with the stables. Like, I think here we capitalized on our opponent's mistakes a little bit. But I'm happy to do that in game one. In a game like this, this is time pressure. People will make mistakes. This is far from perfect play, as you could see probably in the semifinals. And let's just take you to game two. To game two, and this is a very interesting one, I think, with a lot of possible choices. So should be a pretty good game to cover. I'm Ephesos here. Honestly, my position here, I quite like it. I'm next to Halicarnassus and Olympia, so I kind of know what to expect of them. I am opposite of Rhodos, so I can expect some red as well, and this is very important in 4-player. Like, your opponent, like your opposite opponent playing red is always really good for you. So I chose B here. I thought for a long time. I really thought that the A side can work here, and I think it really can work here, but it just like being safe on the cloth is here, and just this side is a little safer just because it has worse resources, but it's like one chains into another, so there are a lot more options here. Let's see hand one. And I expected B all the way. This should have been A in my opinion, but Iguana plays prefers the B side always, so I expected this as well. So here, a lot of choices again, and I thought that is this all in for Apothecary? I think if I can all in on green here, I'm winning this game, just because these are the wonders that are absolute worst at hiding the green. Like Olympia can hide some green, but Halicarnassus is terrible at hiding green, and Rhodos is terrible at hiding green. So being in green here would be like the dream. But I'm thinking at the same time, what if my opponents think so as well? And what if I'm, for example, me and Iguana go into the green war? Then I can be quite screwed. So I decided for the safe clay pool. A lot of them rely on the clay, so should be pretty good. And there is double red clay, so that's a pretty safe pick. And I thought I really don't want to be last here, so like clay here can be really good in a matchup like this. It was like a month or maybe more from the final when I'm covering this, and I'm still not sure what's best here. Like I think both options are viable. But as you can see, I started with Apo and I'm like, nah, no way, too risky. And I think I could have risked it, but you know, I am rewarded with the best card possible, Timber Yard for me, so that's great. Naturally, I'm picking it. And on the wheel, there is a Scriptorium. He's coming more into green. I wonder if he did the same if I was like pushing crazy green. Probably not. So that's something to consider. I can still try to all in on green with even with all of this. Like I can workshop here and just do this. But I decided to play it a little bit safer here again. Stockade because there is still guard tower in the pool. And here is another very interesting choice. I think there are honestly three choices here. You can play the guard tower, you can play East Trading, and you can play Stone Pit. Maybe you can even consider West Trading. So Olympia can sorry, no, it has to be East Trading. So Olympia has to can West Trading back to you. Maybe there is something to be said about East Trading here, just so Rhodos cannot trade to Olympia, but that's entirely different topic. And here I decided to go for the trading, for the East Trading to Olympia, and I think that's fine, but I'm conceding quite a bit of red. Like I'm conceding the red not only here, but also I'm conceding a red win here as well. Stone Pit is fine, but I think it's the worst choice, I think, here. Except for West Trading. That was like a greedy economic play. And here is another peculiar one. I can Scriptorium here, but I can also Buffs. I thought that I need to stop him, but maybe I really don't. Maybe Buffs was the correct play. Maybe I'm just fine with letting Halicarnassus win. After all, Alex was last in the first game, so even if he wins here, no harm done so far. So maybe this could just been buffs, and I shouldn't just care about the green so much here. And the last card, I think Lumber is playable, but why play it when I can just play the Wonder Stage? I have access to enough Lumber already, so let's go. And as you can see, this Rhodos is a little bit weird, I would say. Like, especially that workshop pickup. I understand that he was trying something, he was cut out of the doubles, of the duels. And it's interesting, but at the same time, I stated at the start that I can count on Rhodos playing the red. Turns out that I cannot, and this is really weird. And again, a hand that's at the same time great and terrible. There is Caravanserai, there is Archery Range, and there is Library. All 3 cards I want to play, and they're all on the same hand, so I just have to pick one of them. In the end, I decided for Caravanserai. I thought that this just secures at least P3, maybe P2, and that's kinda good enough for me when both of the others are kinda risky strategies. But maybe something on the wheel will get back to me. I was happy I didn't play Archery Range when I saw this, and here I can play the walls, so that's naturally good. I have access to everything I need, so now I'm just looking for points and denying my opponent some points. Here I thought School is the best idea to deny some points. He didn't play the library, so that was quite weird for me. Here I thought about hiding Foundry, but I think I ended up playing the statue. And Drodos is, like, he played some red, but he's still quite struggling. Here again, I thought about hiding Foundry, but I thought it's too late because I already passed one, so I hidden the sawmill, sorry, stone mill. That would be something. And I think he threw the double R. And here I should have played Temple, I think, but I played the Bazaar. I thought that I will have trouble on the money. I don't think it's that bad, considering what happens in the game, but yeah, this is an inaccuracy, I think. I wasn't super happy about this one, but I played 5 cards for resources, if we count this as one, and I'm not looking terrible right now. Let's say that. So Third Age is very interesting. We start with something pretty bad, I would say. I end up playing Lighthouse from this hand. I thought that at that time I didn't think that I was that strong in this game. This is important. This is a live play, so this is a lot more mistakes than you can see in semifinals, which was turn-based, and we had as much time as we wanted to think about our moves. Here we have about 8 minutes per game, I think. So you can spend like 2 minutes on one move. That's I think maybe, like, if you really think that this move is so important, you can spend like 4 minutes, but then you have to make fast moves. You spend so much time just looking what other people played. Like you do not realize how like in tournament situation how little time there is. So you have to play quick. You have to like make reasonable choices. You have to also plan when to think. If you really want to get into some deep thinking and calculations, you need to make time for that with some faster picks. So here I just picked the Lighthouse just because Rodos looks like he's fighting me, and I wanted to be ahead of him. I don't want him to get the Lighthouse. And here I'm just going for the arena. There is Castrum, which I think is interesting also, worth remembering. This guild is so fat. I was so unhappy when I saw this. We can go for university, but I decided I need to punch on some red here, so I thought I'll just siege, and I threaten another red against Olympia. I'm sure Iguana wasn't so happy about that, and I was very unhappy about that as well. This now means that I have to play another red just to be safe. I think Iguana has troubles playing the red that I passed him. I don't remember now, but I think that was my approach. Or like, it's costly for him, or he cannot play it at all, and he cannot play his last stage. So maybe there is still hope for us. Here I decided to go for decorators. It's terrible for all of them except for me. That's why it rotated here. Like, nobody can build the last stage. Rodos cannot build the last stage. He can build the last stage, but it would be super awkward for him, and at the time he doesn't have the money to build it, and he cannot play the last stage as well. So this was quite the game here. So decorators here for me. Scientist maybe is a possibility, but not really. If I was going for all the tablets, maybe, but not here. Here, finally, I'm rewarded with fortifications. He couldn't build it as well, so like he could maybe bury it or something, but if he's passing to me, I'm playing it. This was one of the reasons why I did so well as I did in this game. The red play was quite strong, I think. Iguana here is in so much trouble, and here I'm just playing the Wonder stage. Important, as you can see, one of the players, it was Alex, was out of time. The tournament rules stated before the final said that you get one freebie, but the next time you get minus tournament points. So he really didn't need to be in time trouble here, I think. But he had to play the clock from now on in the future rounds, and there are 5 more to come after this game too. So in the end, I win both reds. Rhodos loses both reds, and Rhodos, to be honest, like Iguana was in trouble here, but Rhodos just seemed to be in a little bit more trouble. We pulled ahead a little bit. This fat guild in the end ended up being the decider, but I was quite happy with the second place. You'll see the scores, but it's like 10, 6, 6, and 2 for realism. So pretty interesting game. Let's see you in game 3. Welcome to game 3. And this is a very interesting one. I think this is probably one of the most interesting ones in the tournament for me. Just because of the way I played and the way the choices were laid out. Here I do expect B, like everyone in B. We are across Rhodos, always a good position, but I'm not sure if we can play for green. Like they are strongly incentivized to play for green, both on the Ephesos and Alexandria side. I don't expect maybe Iguana in green, but Ephesos can be troubling. And the first hand is very interesting. I considered Glassworks strongly, like all-in on green, but I thought it might be actually helping Ephesos a little bit too much, also with like access to the glass. And I'm not sure if, depending on where the other grays are, that determines if I can play green or not here. Stone Pit is a little bit too weak, so I decided to go for the Claypole here. Just because of the strong red, we also need this one. Alexandria needs this one as well, so maybe he will pay us. That was my reasoning for going in here, and I do think it's probably in the vacuum. Like in this position, in the vacuum, not counting like how the tournament is going, how the players play and stuff like that. This is probably the best play. Everybody grabs a dual, so nobody in heavy green yet. This hand is a little bit challenging. I decided to play the guard tower here, but maybe this was time for marketplace. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I wanted to be a little in red, but maybe it's a mistake. Like this is a very close call. Tell me in the comments what you think about this particular hand, because I think it's very troubling here. So red from Rhodos, always a good sign. And this hand, I'd love to play the workshop for 1, but for 2, maybe not so much. I decided to play the Orvane here, and I think it's a little bit too weak, probably. I should have played the workshop anyway, I think. Like, my idea was set up for the reds in H2, but I don't know if we need to set up that much when Ephesus has resources like this. So here I do decided to go press. This is also important because like I think I will get the green coming back, the scriptorium, but also I don't have access to loom right now, so this is like a double-edged sword. He's not going green, that's happy for me. I do get the scriptorium that I expected. Like honestly, it was pretty set in stone. And at the moment, I was feeling very good about my position. Double lumber coming here, super weird. I think I decided to play one just for the reds, for the caravanserai and stuff like that. Honestly, here my position looks very good. Like it's not amazing, but it's very good. And the first pick stables is also quite nice. That is a little bit more troubling because we would like to grab this, but actually quarry is also pretty important for us, so I was happy to grab it from a hand like this. This is where the problem starts. Library and school are on the same hand, so we only are able to play one. I do decide to go for library. I think it's a close call, but I still wanted to play other stuff than green and kind of starve them with from the green good cards. And this is the hand where I made the mistake of the tournament, I think. Think about this. What do you play here? And it's not easy at all. Think about it. I'm just going to give the first set of clues. If we pass archery range, we lose the red here. And if we play archery range, we probably win this both h1 and h2 and h3. We do not have access to loom, and if we pass loom, we won't have access to loom. Also, we don't have access to the second ore. And let me just go through this list with you here. Workers need 2 ores. Need 2 ores. Need a cloth. Need a cloth. This one we could play, actually. This one we can play. This one we are not interested in, but needs a cloth. This one needs both 2 ores and a cloth. This one needs 2 ores, and this one we can actually play and be happy about it. So we actually have like 2 guilds that we can play. This one we are not very interested in right now. So with all that knowledge about the red, about the loom, about the foundry, what do you do here? I did play archery range, and I should have played loom, just because it's much better. But I was hesitant to let it go. I actually, when I was playing this, I didn't notice that I'm missing 2 ores. Like, I'm next to Alexandria, and Rhodos didn't play this, so I thought that, like, there has to be some ore in the pool, but I actually didn't check. Here I am playing the Brickyard still for my last stage for Haven, but as you can probably see already, Haven also needs cloth. And yeah, this is just toast. Here I'm building Quarry for the Wonder stage, and then I should have played the Foundry because I'm in that much trouble with the guilds, but I didn't. And I actually noticed that I didn't have cloth for Haven, so I thought playing this is like stupid. But it's actually not stupid, I had to do this. And as you can see on this hand, 2 guilds we cannot play. Haven cannot play. Fortifications cannot play, but we are not very sad about this. So I thought the plan is gardens into university. That's actually pretty reasonable, but you know, there will be trouble along the way. 3 guilds, so 5 guilds total. Can't play any of them. If we played the double ore, the scientist would have saved us. Actually, scientist would have saved us the decent play in this game, decent place in this game. That would have been the case here, but unfortunately, I didn't play it. So you know, I just have to suffer here and throw one. And I think I threw. What did I throw? I think I threw Haven. No, can't be. I should have thrown Arsenal. I don't remember what I throw. I throw a yellow guild. Okay, should have thrown the Arsenal. Here I'm just playing the Town Hall, one of the few points that we can grab, but this will bite me, as you can see. Realism starts to play crazy red, and I'm actually replying with a Siege Workshop here. Yeah, makes sense. Like, he probably plays a red here. So I thought I'm safe, but I, you know, didn't realize that this is coming. And here I make a big mistake again. Think about it for a second. What would you play? There is one correct way to play this one. Or is there? No, actually I didn't make a mistake. I miscounted. Like, I have to play the circus, then he throws and I'm behind him. Or I play the university and he plays the red and I'm still behind him. And given that Ephesos actually, like, I prefer realism to be above Iguana here, just because of the tournament. I actually play the university, so he is actually ahead of Iguana, and he like steals the points from him. I'm last anyway. Because the last hand is this, which normally would save my game, but again, no access to the cloth and no access to the ore, so just the second ore, so just miserable here. Yeah, and if we see the score, the scientist would have been, like if I played it, would have been 8 points for me. 9 from the additional green and 1 less because of the throw. So now 9 points would put me to P2, which would be amazing here. Rodos here just had a nice game when he actually played the marketplace and the loom. So he was pretty happy here. And the spread was also quite decent, and he didn't overthrow on any of the reds, and he got the guilds because I couldn't play them. Most importantly, like I couldn't play the last guild as well. Like this didn't make to my hand, but if it was in my hand, I couldn't play it anyway. So in H3, given the pool of guilds here, I couldn't play any of them. If I opened with like builders, this would have been fine. Maybe spies would be quite okay as well. But you know, opening builders is quite lucky for me here. So I was deservedly, I deserved the punishment here for the misplays that I did. I actually was quite unhappy with myself when I played this. And this is also important. We are playing a live tournament, as you probably hear this more and more in this video. So there is like a mental state that you have to get yourself in. Like after a heavy loss like this, where you can only blame yourself. Honestly, I had good position here. I had good cards. I just misplayed here. You can only blame yourself, and you have to play 4 more games, and you are still in competition. Like currently, Alex has 12. I have 10 with P2, so still pretty good. Iguana P3 with 8 and Ephesos P4 with 6 points. So still everybody, like everybody can win this tournament. You have to just, you know, shake it off, not think about it too much. Do not blame yourself that much. You can blame yourself after the tournament when you are analyzing and making a video about it. But don't blame yourself in the tournament. Get like in the proper zone. Still try to score good and win the whole thing. And that's what I did, but it was not easy. It was not easy. I did manage to like shake myself off, but I had to like drink water, walk a couple of steps, just so I can, you know, I can do this. But yeah, this is an important part of playing a live tournament like this. And I was, you know, this is a mistake that I wouldn't make in turn-based. We were actually like, you know, so getting used to playing turn-based that I forgot a little bit how to play with time. But you know, I shouldn't have made this mistake anyway. Like the double or mistake at the end was just so bad. The cloth one was pretty tough, but the double or was just terrible. And there you have it, guys. Please tell me in the comments what you thought about these games. It can be tough to have like a devastating loss like this, like I had in game 3. Usually in arena or even in the normal games, I recommend players taking a break after they have a string of losses, but this was not an option for me. But we are taking a break, and we'll see you in the part 2 when we are talking about the whole tournament as well. So there will be 4 games for you. Please like, share and subscribe, all that good stuff. The channel is constantly growing thanks to you. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate your support, and see you next time. Bye.